Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. Coming to you from Kamloops, British Columbia, tournament capital of Canada, and home of the Kamloops, the Secwepemc, part of the Shuswap Nation. I'm Shane Gottfredson, your play-by-play guy for this National Aboriginal Hockey Championships. Mike Prooni is my cameraman. I butchered his name, but Mike's the camera guy. We're going to tag team this matchup between British Columbia and Saskatchewan, or Team Ontario, sorry. Got some shout outs here from the BC team, number 5, Dane Swinging Jones. Mom, uncle, aunties, granny, and the whole family is here. Auntie Claudette is watching from home, so wanted to shout out to Deadly Auntie Claudette back home. The Tebow's a hometown kid here. Mom and Dad, Richie Tebow's here. He's got his Tim Hortons cup, and he's pulling hard. He said the boys need the W today. Shout out to the Tebows. And number 14, Ethan McCocus. Big shout out to Papa Roland and also Papa Robert McGilvery. As they've got a bunch of grandkids here today, but playing for Team BC is Ethan McCocus, number 14. It's a true hockey family as the sisters Tyani and Sophie are playing for Team BC girls as they're having a good week as well. A big shout out to brothers back home, Silas. Hello, Silas, and brother Braden and Windy Boy. And also uncles Cordell and Edward, nephews Nico and Bodie. And also Grandma Marilyn back in Saddle Lake is watching. And also, hey, Saddle Lake Warriors, the McCocus is over in BC. Want to give the Saddle Lake Warriors a shout out. Also, Grandpa Rope is here with Mom and Dad. Hello to Chris back home. Also, the White Cottons are in the house here today. Mama White Cotton has got her pom-poms, as so does little sister. They're come all the way from the Gitxsan Nation and all the way up in northern BC, Hazelton country. Also Luca Prince and the Prince family from the Peguis First Nation. And from Team Ontario, a shout out to number 11, Emerson's family, as Irvin and Bonnie Taylor back home in Curve Lake. Big shout out to all the hockey fans from Curve Lake, Ontario. And also Gordy's here, which is Emerson's dad, Gordy Taylor. And a big shout out to Steph back home who's working. We're coming to you live from MacArthur Island in the tournament capital of Canada, as we've got a matchup with the defending champs from Ontario playing Team BC. Our starting goaltenders tonight for Team Ontario is Malcolm Rose, number 29. And for BC, they're going to go with Cassius Ford. Our starting lineup for BC up front is going to be a local kid here by the name of Teo Jackson via Goodfish, with number 22 Blantz and Trey Alphonse from the Chilcote team. Ontario goes with number 20 Jones McDonald and Xander Kachetko, along with Danny McDonald, as that goes back to big number 1 Louis Sturgeon, and that wheeling around behind the net also is number 19 Jordan McLeod. Ontario gets the puck in British Columbia zone, and Livingstone gives a little sauce pass to Jackson. Jackson goes rink wide and just gets a piece of it, and that's waved off. Oh, that took a funny bounce behind Rose. As looks like BC or somebody's going to get a penalty. As number 27 wipes out Alphonse, and Alphonse goes down, and I don't know if he's seeing stars, but he's going to the box as well. As looks like offsetting penalties early in the game as they're trying to set the tone. Matchup between host province British Columbia and Team Ontario, the defending national Aboriginal hockey champs, as we got 5-on-5 hockey with Bodot, Cross, and Swingin' Jones out there. As Mama Jones was saying that Swingin' Jones needs to swing some pucks in the net. As here comes BC the other way, as Cross grabs the puck, walks in. A little too much stick handling when he should have shot the puck. And here comes Ontario, and a good stick by number 5, Swingin' Jones. As Siemens gets the puck over to Thibault as he does a spinorama and looking at getting a few steps as he headmans it to Cross. As Cross loses the puck, and Bodot gets it again, Logan Bodot. As BC needs a win here, as they haven't won a game so far in the tourney with 3 losses and a tie, as that's blocked by Thibault. As Bodot gets the puck, as Thibault and his guy are jostling in a long stretch pass. That puck's missed by Swingin' Jones, as number 8, Abrahams and Jones are battling in the corner. As Ontario gets the puck, a nice long rink-wide pass to Emerson Taylor, Curve Lake. Oh, he gets that shot off, and that's tipped out of play. We've got 17:47 left in the first period. I'm Shane Gottfredson, your play-by-play guy for the National Aboriginal Hockey Championships. 12:20 British Columbia time. Hope you brought your sunscreen if you're here. It's going to be a warm one today. As here comes BC the other way, as number 23 Osmac gets a shot on as Malcolm Rose covers it up. As we have joining us here right beside me is Duncan Othius, the chair of the National Aboriginal Hockey Committee here. Done a great job in organizing, as Kamloops has some world-class facilities here, and Duncan did a great job getting the groundwork done from the organizing end, as BC rips the puck around on the forecheck as Ontario grabs that puck and gives it away. Dumped back in by Livingstone, and here's big number 13. Lake Rago gets the puck as he hangs on to it, looking for somebody, just holding on patiently and walking up the ice, and he gives that puck off. As he gives that puck off to number 17, that pass comes outside, as Big Louis Sturgis has had a pretty stellar weekend so far, as he rips that behind the play, and Livingstone grabs that puck and up the ice and just out of the reach of number 9 for BC. And that's Nicholas Morn, who just missed that puck. Icing on British Columbia, 16:35 left in the first period. Out there looks like number 20, Halliday, Luca Prince, and number 12, Lefebvre. As Halliday should have been moving his feet when he was using his stick, as Ontario wins that battle as Luca Prince gets the puck, and Luca's all the way from Pegwis, making BC his home now as Livingstone jumps up in the play as number 11, Emerson Taylor, swings his stick and knocks the puck loose. As here's Taylor again, knocks that puck down as he swings it back to number 21, big Louis Sturgeon. And Ontario dumps and gets a fresh change as here comes the Irvine, McLeod, and Rago line. As here comes Big Blance as he's gets a weak shot off on net. And nothing here as the cameraman is Mike Peroni, who's coming to you live from Kamloops. Did I get that right, Mike, this time? I got it right this time as he gives me the head nod. As here comes Ontario the other way as Jackson Irvine walks in, and him and Thibault go to the corner, and Jackson's on that puck. Here comes Irvine again with the puck and rings it back to the point. Quick shot on net, that's kicked aside as Ontario seems to have a little pressure on BC as Thibault rubs it out, and Siemens ripped it out up to the line and not quite out as it finally goes out. And here's Blance as Siemens and Thibault change up as BC comes back with number 6 and number 10, Hagee and White Cotton. As, that shot just misses as Irvine rips that over the net, and he knew he had a glorious chance as that goes over top of the net. And we've got a penalty here. Looks like a cross-checking penalty behind the play to number 4, Landon Rago. As I missed what happened, but he's going to the sin bin. Landon Rago for Ontario getting a 2-minute penalty for cross-checking. As Rago's in the box. BC wins the draw. We got a foot race. It's number 18. Kachetko is on Livingstone and takes him out hard. Watch this number 18, Kachetko. He works hard as he gets a tripping penalty now as Thibault goes down. As Kachetko worked himself into the penalty box with a tripping call. As Thibault put a stutter step on him, and Kachetko brings him down. 5-on-3 power play as British Columbia up front has number 21 out to take the draw, which is Prince, Jackson, and looks like Blance is out there as Teo Jackson takes the draw. And here's Morn over to Makokis as BC needs to get a little bit of mobile here. As the last few games they've been standing stationary and they haven't moved the puck. And here's Makokis, walks in, just misses the net. A rebound comes out as Luca Prince pushes that puck on net, and Malcolm Rose with an easy save. We've got a two-man advantage for British Columbia, and out killing this penalty for Ontario. Looks like big number, I'm not sure if that's 27, Styles, and with their jerseys up like that, but looks like number 10 for Ontario, which is Pickergill, is going to be one of the defense. Up front is Dockstetter, and number 21, Sturgeon out there to kill this penalty. As we've got a relatively quiet crowd here from BC, considering it's a home game. If our fans from British Columbia want to see any action, let's start bringing the noise level up and getting some momentum as they want to knock off the national champs here. As Ontario wins the draw, as pick and roll rips it around and kept in at the line by Makokis. And Luca is standing out front as Blentz looking for a rebound. Jackson gets a stick in the face by number 10, Pickerel Gill. That old saying, if you want to get some goals, you got to go to the dirty spot, as Jackson was trying to create some havoc. As out comes some freshies for Ontario. Looks like number 7, Pitawataquat, and number 21, Sturgeon, stays out there. As number 17, Pitawataquat, is another kid who brings it as so big number 22, Blantz, rips that wide. We've got 49 seconds in the two-man advantage as he fans on it, as Pitawataquat dumps it down the ice easily. Here comes Makokis the other way. 35 seconds left in the two-man as he's looking at bringing it in and gains his own. Big Blantz needs to move that puck, as there's no sense ragging it like that, as here's Morin back to Blantz. Shot that goes way wide, as Blantz seems to be killing his team with his selfish play, as he needs to start moving the puck. 6 seconds left in this 5-on-3, and here's BC Morin, as they seem to be stationary, as that's back, as that just goes wide, as Bodot gave a pass. As here's Cross getting some power play time, as back to number 23, who shoots it, as now Morin gets it, as a 5-on-3 penalty is killed off, and a wasted opportunity by BC here on a 5-on-3 power play, as Ontario kills this penalty off as some selfish play. I think the coach is talking to the kids on moving the puck, as if they're going to win this game, they've got to play as a team. As that puck's back in the zone, as Livingstone regroups to assistant captain Thibault, who looks at a long stretch pass to Swingin' Jones, as Swingin' Jones gets it off. As here's Thibault walks in, and a good glove save by Malcolm Rose. Here comes Ontario, looks like they're offside, as Danny McDonald had a step on big number 20, Devin Jones McDonald, as BC catches a big break with Ontario going offside. 11:43 remaining in the first period in the tournament capital of Canada, MacArthur Island, Kamloops, British Columbia. Nothing so far, as goes White Cotton, rips the puck, and that's picked off by number 7, Jacobs. And out there is number 7, Jacobs, breaks his stick. That's about a $400 bill right there, as a broken stick. As I've seen probably about 30 sticks broken in the games that I've done, and that ain't cheap, as this is an expensive sport to play, as sticks have gone up from back in the day when I used to play. A good Sherwood 530 PMP would cost about $20, but now they're up in the 400. We got a puck battle behind the net, as Ontario's got two guys, and here's Hagee, who's getting a shift out there, as he dumps it down, and that's waved off. Big Louis Sturgeon Rapes out number 8, Rope, behind the play. And we got a race for the puck, and as Taylor with some good wheels, he wins that race as they're maneuvering around that $300 broken stick, as we've got a slashing penalty by Ethan Rope, as Taylor clearly outskated him to get to that puck as Rope goes to the box at 10:24. And let's see what the defending national Aboriginal hockey champs can do here as they send out the line of, they're bringing out number 27, Kane Stiles, with number 13 out there for Ontario is Lake Rago, as number 16, Dockstetter, was careless, but he got the puck back as Ontario's moving it around. As here's number 7, Jacobs, as they're working it from low and back to Leg and Rago, who's playing up front. They're going to have his big body try and create some traffic as Tebow hangs on the puck along the boards, and Big Rigo fixes it off to the side, and that's turned aside. And here's number 10, Pickerel Gill's pass is picked off as Trey Alphonse gets it out, and here's 21 on a breakaway as his stick is lifted by number 10, Pickerel Gill, as Prince got caught up by Pickerel Gill in a good defensive play, as this place is starting to fill up with fans from all over Kamloops. It looks like a lot of the kids that go to school have got the day off to come and cheer for some of the kids that are playing here. Some of the finest native Aboriginal hockey in Canada. The best players from each province are here, and a lot of these kids play junior hockey, AAA hockey, and that puck's dumped down by Livingstone as behind the net, Rose plays it, and here comes Ontario number 10, Pickerel Gill, looking for a last-minute push as Hagee shoots it down the ice. That takes a couple hops. 11 seconds left, and Rope's penalty as Big Louie takes out Swingin' Jones, as Swingin' Jones swings his stick as BC tries to dump it, as that's blocked by number 20, Jones McDonald, and here he walks in. A good stick by number 4, Livingstone, as BC can't seem to get it out. And here's Jones McDonald, walks in, and he got a lot on that, as Swingin' Jones got a piece of that. But we got a bunch of fans here today. I don't know if Mike, you can get a shot of the fans here as you look at the fans pouring into the rink here, as this place is almost standing room only, as this place is starting to fill, as a lot of the British Columbia fans are starting to show up. I think they thought this was an Eastern Standard game, as here comes Osmac and an impossible angle as Malcolm Rose kicked that aside. Tebow with the snap. That just goes wide as the ref gets his hand up as number 12 for BC, Lefebvre, Maximum Lefebvre, swinging around, but I can tell you that going to the box is Big Louie Sturgeon, as he took his guy out, as Tebow took a shot just wide, as BC's back on the power play, as that old saying, looking like a hometown ref, as Ontario's back on a penalty kill. Jackson wins the draw. Let's see if British Columbia can get a power play goal, as that's shot by Luca Prince, as Jackson gets a shove as he's standing beside the net, as Lake Rigo didn't like that. Cade Manitoban didn't like that, as he gives his center, number 15, Poquet, a slap on the pants at the change, as he listens to the big guy, and I'm sure the big guy, he's probably got a lot to say in that dressing room. He's one of the bigger kids in this tournament. Face off as Jackson wins that draw, as Morin gets it over to Makokis, as Luca gets a shot on goal. Luca Prince, as that shot goes down the ice, and here comes number 15 for Ontario, Landon Poquet, to kill this penalty, as BC goes rink wide, as Jackson rims it around, as nobody's home, as Luca Prince wasn't there, as here's Ethan Makokis with 1:17 remaining. Levi Morin seems to quarterback this power. Nicholas Morin, quarterback in this power play, as BC is can't get control of it, as Makokis tries some fancy work, as 15, Poquet goes down, and that shot goes wide, as him and Makokis are holding on each other, and they're both going to go, as Makokis throws down Poquet's stick, and he's going to get an extra one for that, as Mama Trina and all the fans back home from Saddle Lake are seeing Ethan get a 10-minute misconduct, as looked like there were going to be offsetting penalties, but Makokis is going to get the extras here, as refs over talking to Coach Bobby Vermette for Team BC. Head coaches for Ontario are Brandon Biggers, and assistant coaches are Brent Ashiwa and Shannon Hill. And for British Columbia, head coach is Bobby Vermette, and assistant coaches Donahue and Derry Menard, the brothers, as Ontario's looking at getting on the board here, 6:28, as we got some 4-on-4 action, as Livingstone flips it to Big Tebow, as he gets it up to number 20, Halliday. Him and Swingin' Jones are out there on this 4-on-4 or 4-on-4 play, as Ontario comes in and back checks and supports their D, as Stiers rings it around, as here's number 17, Pitawanaquat, gets it over to Ontario, as Dockstetter chips that forward, and that's going to be covered, as he tried to put a little snow onto Cassius Ford, and the ref is ringing him up for unsportsmanlike conduct. As I know, in the National Hockey Championships, you have to have some discipline, and we've seen a couple plays here late in the first period of unsportsmanlike conduct from BC and Ontario, and the refs trying to set the tone here early, and linesman comes back to pick something up, maybe a couple teeth, I don't know, maybe some dried meat, but he's back in play. And here's a 4-on-3 power play as Livingstone gets back, and almost stolen by Kachetko, as he's a dangerous player, as here's Kachetko, he's getting caught as Tebow's getting some gap space, and here's Tebow, and he gets a nice stick check by number 10, Pickers Gill, as here's Blantz, as he walks in, as he loses the puck, and Livingstone rings it across the T-bow and back to Livingstone as Livingstone brings it over center and spins around at the blue line and walks the line as he's taking his time. As we've got 4:58 remaining in the first period, tight checking game, as here comes number 27, Stiers, as he gives a nice pass. Oh, as Ford makes the shoulder save. As good effort by Stiers, as here's Livingstone as he fishes that off to number 20 for BC, Halliday, who's been relatively quiet, as here comes Blanche again, as again that puck's taken away easy by number 7, Nash Jacobs. BC looks like they've got a power play with 20 seconds left, as here comes Morin as he walks in, quick shot, rebound, as Osmak grabs the puck and he loses it at the line, as Siemens all the way from Bonaparte, British Columbia, one of the bands about an hour away, as he hails part of the Mini Barriette family, big hockey family, and big shout out to Uncle Carl, who had a great hockey career as a junior, as Ontario kills off another penalty as Cassius Ford gets that over to Morin, and that puck's up off the wall, and Morin gets it again. He's gets rubbed out by big number 20, Jones McDonald, as number 21, Luca Prince, has the puck as he fishes it off, and Osmak to Prince as they do a little give and go. I think if BC starts moving the puck a little quicker on the give and goes on that power play, I think they'll create a little more chances. But the one-man show opportunities never seem to work at the National Hockey Championships. We're coming to you live from Kamloops, British Columbia. I'm Shane Gottfredson. Big shout out to all the fans back in Curve Lake, Ontario, as Taylor's family is, that's where they're from. A nice pass, as here's Blanche. Let's see if he'll pass. He loses it, as Blanche seems to, the captain needs to start moving the puck as that's saved, as Trey Alphonse shakes his head, tells big number 27, Stiers, sorry, I'm just trying to whack a loose puck, as we've got 2:33 left, and in the net is Malcolm Rose, part of the Métis Nation out of Ontario. He played for the Toronto Titans U16 team, so he's just a young guy as he turns one aside, and that gets ripped up to Tebow as he walks the line and gets a shot on net. As nobody's there creating traffic, as Rose will make those stops all day long, as we have the one and only Mitch Shooter in the house, A.K. Magic, who's all the way from Merritt, British Columbia. He's here, got his Team BC bling on with a serious look as he's got his money on BC. I know he's a huge British Columbia fan. Alphonse turns around and rips the puck. He had more time than I think he thought he had, as he could have skated that puck in a bit. But nonetheless, I'm sure the Coach Vermette is saying we need to create some shots. As Blanche is back out there with Jackson and Alphonse, as Blanche loses that cleanly to number 18, Kachenko. As here's number 10, coming the other way is Pickerel Gill. Big pad save by Cassius Ford. Up off the wall as Jackson missed that puck as he's looking for a change at the end of that shift. As here comes Ontario is getting a little sloppy here as Haggie's getting a shift as he passed to Alphonse, and Alphonse gives that away as teams are feeling a little nervous late in the first period. As here's Ontario, number 16, Dockstetter. He steps in and loses the puck, and Blanche does this chip pass by number 17, which is Pitawataquat, and he comes off. And here's number 8 out, Ethan Rope, as 17, Pitawataquat gets a shot on goal. Stick check as 2 British Columbians hit the ice, and watch out as that puck was picked off by Poquet and almost could have been a yard sale as BC gets it out. A big number 21, Lewis Sturgeon, dumps that puck, and Morin does a spinorama behind and dangerously out front, and not the play that you want late in the period as gets checked as Ontario's coming back the other way again as looking for a late push, a quick shot, big juicy rebound. Another one goes wide, 14 seconds. Here's Manitoban who shoots it wide as Sturgeon let one go. That's blocked as a breakaway for Makokis misses the net on a glorious opportunity with 5 seconds left in the game as Rose never gave him much room. We got a good hockey game here, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got a lot of fans watching BC and Ontario as Ontario gives Rosie a hug on a big save late in the game. We want to give our shout outs to our sponsors, the Kamloops Sports Council, the tournament capital of the city of Kamloops, Tourism Kamloops, the Kamloops, the Métis Nation of British Columbia, Stingray and Jimmy Patterson's Media Group, Castanet, and also we have other sponsors, CN Rail, iSpark, Building an Excellency of Excellence in Sports, which is iSpark, who does so much for so many kids in this province. New Gold, Afton Mines, cheering for you during the National Aboriginal Hockey Championships. KGHM, Orkrill, Tulco, the Lottery Corporation, BFL Canada, Blue Earth, Acres Construction, Kruger Pulp and Paper, Visual Signs and Printing, the Scotia Bank of Canada, Marmac, True Indigenous Education, and of course the hometown Kamloops Blazers. I'm Shane Gottfredson. We're going to break for station identification, and when we come back, I'm going to tell a story about Ted Nolan. Well, we're back for second period action. As promised, as everybody knows, Ontario's hockey legend Ted Nolan. As Ted, he played pro as a former professional hockey player and coach. He played in the NHL for the Detroit Red Wings, Pittsburgh Penguins, and later on in his career he coached the Buffalo Sabres, New York Islanders, and Nolan's also the former coach of the Latvian national hockey team. He's a member of the First Nations community of Six Nations Garden River, and has been an advocate for First Nations and Indigenous peoples' rights in hockey, as Ted Nolan and his boys Brandon and Nolan played pro in the NHL. Very well respected family from Ontario, and we want to do a big shout out to all of our Ontario fans back home there in Ontario watching us on live stream. As we're about getting ready to drop the puck, I'm your play-by-play guy, Shane Gottfredson, former chief of the Kamloops, the Secwepemc, and also your play-by-play guy who's just a big, huge fan of hockey. As Steyer's fans on that, and that's ripped down the ice by big number 21 Sturgeon. And here comes Makokis, as he had a great chance at the end of that first period, and he missed the net on a breakaway. As Ontario picks the puck up and a long pass, and icing waved off as number 20, Jones McDonald, won that race. Oh, that snuck through as Kachetko is on that puck. And here's Makokis again as he shoots it high, as he's rubbed out, as he's getting bumped around, as big number 21, Louis Sturgis. Sturgeon having a word with Ethan Makokis, as big Louis Sturgeon comes from the Chippewa Thames, and he played, stands at 6'3". He played for the Peterborough Petes U18 team, and his partner, Kane Styrus from Tuscanora of the Six Nations Garden River, and he played his hockey at the Caledonia for the Carnivores Junior B. As we got a good lineup here from Ontario, some good quality kids that are playing high level hockey and setting an example for all the younger people in Ontario. As I mentioned, Ted Nolan, huge role model as Siemens keeps it in, and Jackson gets it back. That's barely kept in, and Jackson swings at it, and Siemens gets caught. We got a 2-on-1 as, a fancy play as that was kicked forward as Thibault missed that puck, and a fancy play by Ontario to get an early goal as number 17, Ashton Pitawanakwat, gets the opening goal here, and a nice kick pass by number 16, Dockstetter, who highlight reel goal there, as sometimes you don't need a hockey stick to be effective, as Dockstetter showed his skills. He jumps up in a quick one, as Ontario seems to find some jump here, as this Dockstetter line with Pitawanakwat and Jacobs are buzzing in BC zone, as Dockstetter's waiting wide open at front of the net, as he chips it into the corner, as BC gets it to the line and out, and back is Manitoban, who's got some nice moves and make a nice pass to number 13, Lake Rago, as that goes wide to number 17, Pittawanaquat, who gets hit hard from behind as that shot goes around as BC. I think that's had a hard hit there. Didn't catch the number as that's ripped around as BC's falling behind here as that shot goes wildly over the net by Poquet as BC has a change, and here's number 6 who lost the puck, which is White Cotton, as number 12 out there's fencing a bit. That's Lefebvre, Maximum Lefebvre, as Ontario sends out some fresh troops of Jordan McLeod, Rago, and Jackson Irvine. On defense, they have Sturgeon and Stiers. BC comes back with Lefebvre, Rope, and Osmac. Won by Ontario. Big rebound by Ford as that goes high and wide as BC's trying to get it out as that's picked off, and Ontario gets a weak shot on goal as Cassius Ford makes an easy save as some of the fans from British Columbia walking by with some fries, and they never even shared their fries with us. Those are those Hazelton Indians not sharing, as the Gitsan Indians aren't sharing their fries, as Ontario wheels the other way as offside on that play as the referee's talking to Ontario players, trying to get some control in the game here. Couple unsportsmanlike conducts dished out in that previous period and trying to set the tone as he talks to Jackson Irvine. No harm done as they come back with Makokis' line, and Lefebvre is off and replaced by Makokis as Halliday gets it back to Livingstone, and Livingstone gets that up to Halliday. He could have probably went wide. He tried to cut back in, but dumped in, and there's Louis Sturgeon. Big Louis Sturgeon, a nice solid young-looking defenseman for Ontario as he flips it high and up to the center, picked up by number 9, Danny McDonald. And here comes Luca. Luca Prince drops it as Livingstone gets a shot. Loose puck as they're battling for it. As interference penalty on, looks like number 2. Is that 27? 21. My good buddy Louis Sturgeon's going to the penalty box for interference. Let's see if BC power play can get their team back into the game, as we got a 1-0 game. Ontario power play as Luca Prince overskates that puck and dumped down the ice by number 7, Josh McDonald. Here's Blanche again, and he rips it around as Jackson chases it, and that's picked up by Makokis. Makokis gets checked as he gives the cross check, and here's Prince, shoots it high and wide. Fans on it as Jackson gets the puck. As looks like a hit to the head to number 14 as Makokis goes back to the penalty box, and that kills the remaining time on this penalty, this power play for BC, as Ethan Makokis takes a no in the offensive zone with the hit to the head penalty. We've got 4-on-4 hockey for about 1:30. The most exciting hockey you'll ever see is 4-on-4 hockey. As out there is number 11 for Ontario taking the draw, which is Taylor. As number 12 is Sully. As Taylor and Sully look to create a little magic as Taylor rags the puck, as Morin swings and Jackson's on Sully with a nice pass, as that was fanned on. Oh, a great save by Cassius Ford on Connor Sully on a great setup by Taylor, as British Columbia overskates that puck, as Sully comes up short as Cassius Ford makes a good stop. As Thibault gets the puck around behind the net for his D partner, and back the other way is Picker Gill, who dumps it in, and here's Siemens with the little dump as Thibault chips it up to Paquette and up to number 7 for BC, which is Cross. And looks like Cross he went down hard as number 27, Kane Stiers, wipes out number 20, Zenon Cross, and he paid the price for that as he gets up, shakes it off, as looks like he's going to be okay, as we've got 4-on-3. Looks like Halliday is out there with number 21, Luca Prince, and Livingstone and Halliday are out there as Ontario wins the draws. Number 8 rips the puck down, and that's Royce Abraham. He's out there with number 20, Jones McDonald, and here's swinging Jones, or is that Morin? Over to Livingstone. There's Morin at the top. Quick shot by Luca. He never got much on that, as Livingstone fed him a pass, and that's fanned on by Prince. Out comes Dockstetter and Jackson Irvine out there, as number 8, Royce Abraham comes off, as the coach didn't like what he's seen with that group, and they come with some freshies here. 4 seconds left on Ontario's penalty. We're going to have some 4-on-4. Here's Halliday. Big push by BC. That puck goes out of play, and we got a stoppage of play. We've got some more 4-on-4 hockey for you, coming to you live from the Olympic Ice Center here in Kamloops, British Columbia, tournament capital of Canada. 4-on-4 as Ontario wins that, as Dockstetter wins another draw, as here's Big Louis Sturgeon gets it up to Dockstetter as Livingstone pushes him out. Oh no, that's a funny bounce as Dockstetter is dancing around and Livingstone squeezes him out, and Luca Prince gets it up to Livingstone, and here's Prince the other way as Halliday's looking for it, as that's chipped away as Dockstetter comes back and he goes wide. Quick shot as Ford makes the glove save. That bounces out as BC is coming back the other way as Livingstone looks at going wide, stops inside the line as McCokish joins in the rush and gives a pass to Prince, who shoots it high and wide. as number 10, Pickers Gill gets it out and gets the stoppage in play as British Columbia fans are sitting on their hands so far in a 1-0 game as BC's got a power play for about 35 seconds. Swinging Jones is out there with Cross and number 15, Bodot, as Tebow and looks like Siemens is out there as Big Siemens from Bonaparte, British Columbia, as Tebow gets the puck and settles it down, gets a quick shot. Siemens has got to hurry and that puck bounces outside as here comes Siemens, gives it to Cross, and Cross jumps up into the play and he drops it to Bodot as big number 13, Lake Regal, wipes out Cross as Cross is having a rough game as we got an offside here as Sully goes offside. I used to have a dog named Zuli. She was a little pup, a little poodle, and we called her Zuli. So whenever I think of Sully, I think of my dog Zuli. But what a great name, Sully, as Sully hails. Where does Sully hail from? He hails from the Chippewas of the Georgian Islands. Hello back home to the Georgian Islands and the Sully clan. Coming in to take this draw now is Emerson Taylor. He's had a really solid game for Ontario. He's had a ton of chances and this line has been really good. Paquette, Suler, Ford makes the save. Ontario's reeling around. They're moving the puck around. And in the corner is Taylor again. He pushes it back to number 8, Abraham, and that bounces off Pickers Gills, and that's back to number 12 for Ontario as they're wheeling it around. Here's Pickers Gill who bounces off number 8, Rope Stick, and wrap around. Oh, and they got a loose puck. Quick shot, blocker save by Ford. As the crowd is on their feet as Ford's coming up big. Another save, loose puck. And BC is short-handed here as Ontario's throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Ford, and he's turning them aside as Ontario can't bury those rebounds as Ford is coming up big as number 18, Kachenko, hits the boards hard as he lost an edge. As Ontario back to the point is Sturgeon. Quick shot high by Kachenko as here's number 20 who gave it away, which is Jones McDonald. And Osmac over there is working over 2 Ontario players as Ontario again is working it outside, moving the puck around, and they're looking for a one-time as that goes wide. As back again comes number 10, Pickerels Gill, who dumps it in. And Morin pays the price, but Livingstone flips it out off the mesh over Osmac's head. And Ontario here got some momentum as they had a power play and they moved the puck around pretty good. When you look at these top clubs that play at this level, they don't hang on that puck for very long and they move it around. Just like the Oilers do as they won their opening game 4-2 over Vegas. And of course, Ontario, I know they're all cheering for the Toronto Maple Leafs as the Maple Leafs win another one last night over Florida as Mitch Marner gets the winner last night as Wolf has been playing outstanding for the Maple Leafs as they beat the defending Stanley Cup champions Florida Panthers, as BC gets the puck out as number 27 Stiers just gently bumps into Luca Prince. Here's Halliday, one hand on a stick, and he gets double teamed as Ontario flips it out, and that's Siemens flips it back in as Prince gets hit hard by Dockstetter as Sturgeon dumps it down, and we got a foot race as that's an icing call as number 7, Danny McDonald, didn't know if he should go offside to chase that puck, but he stretched those long legs of his out, and Siemens from Bonaparte, British Columbia, home of Chief over there is Frank Antoine, and big shout out to all the mini Barriettes, huge hockey family, ball family, rodeo family, as a quick shot on net as Alphonse gets wiped out as he's on the puck, as here's Blance with a quick shot, that goes wide. Livingstone pinching in as he throws Luca Prince, or Blance fans on that. Alphonse swinging his stick as in his Jackson as that's chipped by number 9, Morin, and here's Ontario as that play's broken up, and Alphonse gets stepped into by big number 3, Cade Manitoban, as Teo Jackson back to Livingstone as Ontario's forechecking. Looks like BC's a little bit too high, as this big ice rink is a different type of style you need to play. And here's Ontario the other way as they dump it in deep behind the net as Lake Rago, he's a big kid. I can say they grow him big where Lake Rago's from, and here's Blance again. Looks like he's trying to go as he dumps that up to Jackson, who chips, and BC's getting a change as on comes number 15, Logan Bodott. And here's number 19 going the other way as offside, as Siemens just tells Rago, cool it, my bro, as there's the neck guard gone flying, as we got 7:38 remaining in the first period. I'm Shane Gottfredson, coming to you live from Kamloops National Aboriginal Hockey Championships. We got a pair of 15s, Bodott and Paquette on the draw as Ford makes the stop, and the ref said, my bad, as I don't think Ford wanted that face off over on his side. But nonetheless, sometimes these refs, they blow that whistle way too quick, but he got excited, and he's into the game though. 7:32 as Abraham walks into the corner as he's taken out by Seaman, and here comes Cross. He's got to go as Cross hanging on the puck as he got caught there as he gets a shot on goal as that goes right to the crease, and Cross again, he gets missed by Taylor as Bodott's in on it, and here comes Emerson the other way, or Landon Paquette, as that goes out of play. As number 10 for Ontario, Pickers Gill, looks good out there as he's got a lot of jump. It's 1:28 British Columbia time. The sun is shining and beautiful British Columbia. We've got two scenic mountains called Mount Peter and Mount Paul, as this is an exciting hockey game. 1-0 Ontario, as British Columbia seemed to have settled down, as that first period was sort of a scrambly period for them, as they couldn't move the puck quick enough, but they're moving it good this second period. I think Coach Vermette had a talk with the boys as Ford plays it behind and Ontario's throwing its weight around. Kachetko walks in and Cassius Ford makes another save. As Cross is having some words for the bench, as looks like he took another heavy hit in the corner. As Cross has been engaged, Kalen Cross has been engaged this game, and he's hails all the way from the Métis Nation, and he played for the Langley Leafs this last season, and he's having probably his best game of the tournament so far as he's been engaged, as wanting to pay the price and carrying that puck. And oh my God, hello, as Ethan Makokis walks in and scores. But number 8 for BC, Ethan Rope, paid the price as he got hit hard at the blue line, as 2 Ontario players finished him off at the same time with the thundering check. But he got the puck out of the zone up to number 14, Ethan Makokis from Saddle Lake, and he gets the equalizer at 6:09 of the second period. And that's given some life to these BC fans as they seem to come alive after that goal by British Columbia, as Ethan Rope took a big body check and looks like the gate is open for Ontario, as I don't know who's getting the penalty, but the captain, Pitawataquat, goes over to talk to the refs, and he comes back to the bench, and they're trying to sort out who gave that thundering hit. I believe it was big number 21, Louis Sturgeon, going to the penalty box. Boy, if Don Cherry had his videos going on Rock'em Sock'em hockey, that would make Rock'em Sock'em Indigenous style hockey. As big body check, a 2-minute shot by Big Louie, but we're all knotted up 1-1. We got a new game going here with 6:08 as Makokis is playing defense on his power play as he whips it up, as there's Luca Prince who gets it back to Blanche, over to Morin, over to Makokis, back to Morin, who gets a shot, just goes wide. Here's Blanche, over to Makokis, as Makokis sauce passes that to Morin, over to Luca Prince, who misses it. Blanche gets it as Jacob tried to sneak in. Blanche has the puck. That's knocked out big number 13, Landon Lake Rago, as Makokis, who scored for BC, is back on defense with Morin on this power play. As Morin walks in, as gets a shot off, Blanche gets the rebound, tries a fancy little flick play that didn't work. Ontario loses it. Blanche has a guy wide open, doesn't pass it, as here he is looking at another shot, as number 17, Teo Jackson, was standing wide open at the side of the net, and Blanche chooses to hang on and shoot the puck. Early in this power play, they were moving it around and created some shots, but not the last half of this power play. No panic, 47 seconds left as BC's got power play, as Livingstone chips it in a little bit too high, and that's shot down hard as Kachetko gets a change after winning a face-off. that old saying, don't panic, we got panic, is BC's looking at coming back. Offside as number 23, Rylan Osmack, offside as he's talking to the ref, and he said, you're too quick, Osmack. Out comes Bodot against McLeod here. 23 seconds left and Big Louis Sturgeon's penalty. Osmack hanging on, chips it in, and here comes BC. Cross out there. That shot goes by number 2, Thibault, out to play it is Cassius Ford. He loses his stick as Livingstone dives to get it out. Spread out, boys, as here comes Ontario as they're closing up that neutral zone. They come back and regroup, and looks like they flipped it out. As one thing about this ice, it's the big Olympic ice, as Thibault gives it away. Flipped out front, puck bouncing around as Ontario steals it. As Pickers Gill, long shot as Thibault clears out Emerson Taylor so Ford can see it. As Emerson saying he's holding on to me. He can't do that, but the ref said, just shakes his head. We're all tied up at 1. Coming to you live from Kamloops, British Columbia, tournament capital of Canada. As out there is number 15, Landon Paquette, against number 12, Maximum Lefebvre. As Paquette is waved out, and it is face off, and Rago loses the draw. As out there is Hagee and Whitecott as they get some ice time. Haven't seen this pairing in a while. As Ford kicks it aside, loose puck. As better get your feet moving. As here's 12, Lefebvre, who looks like we got a penalty here. As Landon Paquette is getting some interference here, as he is getting a penalty, and Landon Paquette, Long Lake 58 First Nation, and Ontario, 5'8" from the Everest Academy. That's where he played this last season. Teo Jackson, Blanche, and Prince are out there as Kachetko wins another face-off as he gets the puck in the neutral zone. He rips a long shot as Ford covers that puck up. We've got lots of vendors here. If you're listening to us live in Kamloops, we got a lot of arts and crafts set up here at the MacArthur Island Sports Center, and a lot of good stuff if you want to take a souvenir home or buy one of these nice drums here to beat around cheering for your favorite hockey club, because that puck is clogged in the neutral, just inside. As Kachenko, one of the hardest working forwards here, as Ford hung on that puck a little too long. As here comes Blanche, played for the Port Alberni Bulldogs last year, and Morin shoots it around as Jackson grabs the puck, flips it off to Ethan Makokis, who's looking for somebody to pass to, as tries a shot, as that's time and space taken away as Jackson has it. Quick shot and a nice play as Luca Prince has fanned on a few shots. Hopefully he'll find a trigger, as that's a long stretch to Prince over to Jackson. Luca Prince one hands out. Sorry. That was Ethan Makokas one-handed, and Prince is taking some abuse beside the net. But that's what you got to do if you wanna score some goals. About 6-10 feet around that net is kill zone, and Ontario seems to be controlling that area quite well here. Both teams, for that fact, have played a good, solid defensive game. As Thibault over to Livingstone, as that's over to the corner for Bodot. Livingstone, Bodot, Livingstone, fans on it, gives it away, and here comes Dockstetter the other way, drop pass, oh, another fancy play, as here comes Osmac, as Livingstone coughed that one up, as he had more time, as Osmac skating miles this game, but loses a puck behind the net, and Pitawanaquat gets it down the ice as Cassius Ford plays it off to Siemens, who gives a long rink-wide pass as number 10, Pickers Gills, kind of stutter-stepped and moved his head and got an icing call, a smart play. As we haven't called his name in a while, but Malcolm Rose broke probably a $400 goalie stick there as he gets a fresh one. Last minute of play as Poquet is up against Logan Bodot, as these two have been facing off against each other quite a bit here the second period, as Bodot wins that draw, as gets to the line, and I don't know if it's out, but it looks like they cleared it, and Ontario's tagging up as Livingstone gives it away again, as he's been having trouble here, as he's given the puck away a few times, as here comes, oh, big check as somebody's down. Cross again, as Cross is paying the price, as Emerson Taylor wiped him out. Cross going to the dressing room, going down the tunnel, as Lego Rake is having words with Bodot. Bodot's about half his size, and Thibault's smiling at the bench over there. And Manitobin goes and gives Malcolm Rose another stick, a shorter one, as that stick that looks like they're exchanging is a long stick in my opinion. Come and get your 50-50 tickets here. Kamloops Sports Council selling 50-50 tickets. I think half the proceeds go to me. Just kidding. As puck's rimmed around, is in as Alphonse. He's getting some ice time. Haven't seen him for a bit. As he goes down, as number 20 gets number 12 a cross check. That's Lefebvre. Thibault's out there battling as Kachetko is working hard. As here's 20, Jones McDonald. Kachetko to McDonald as times run out, as looks like number 13, Landon Lake Rago, was talking to Siemens, trying to get something started, as Thibault's laughing at him. As we got a good hockey game, 1-1 after 2, as British Columbia gets the tying goal here on a goal by Ethan Makokas after a thundering check by number 20, Louis Sturgeon, as he had a hit to the head, and that's an automatic call. 2 minutes to the sin bin, even if you score. It was probably a double minor, but I think he got called on a single. As a big shout out to the Métis Nation. Dean Gladu is here wearing his Métis Nation colors. They gave me a nice girl's umbrella. Oh, is that a girl's umbrella? Oh, it's for my wife. Beautiful umbrella. Look at that. Flowers all over it. As a nice gift given to me by the Métis Nation. Thank you, Dean, and all the work that you do from the for the kids in the Kamloops region in the province of British Columbia. As the Zamboni's out, I'm Shane Gottfriedson with Mike Polroni here, the camera guy, and I'm going to go and see if I can talk to some of the Ontario fans to see if we can get some shout outs back to Ontario and see if we got anybody here from Moose Creek. We'll talk to you in a bit. We're back here in Kamloops, Olympic ice at MacArthur Island. 1-1 hockey game between Ontario and British Columbia. Want to give a big shout out to Emerson Taylor's family back in Curve Lake. Grandpa Irvine and Bonnie Taylor. And Gordy's here, the dad, and Steph back home working. We also want to give a shout out to number 19, Jordan McLeod from Moose Factory, Ontario. Shout out to Harold Sonner, Meredith Sonner, and Daryl McLeod, and Landon Rago from Sudbury, Ontario. Shout out to Anthony Rago from Savon Lake, and Stephen Quinter, who's the ISOW Executive Director and home of the Little NHL out in Toronto, one of the biggest hockey gatherings for minor hockey for Indian kids and Indigenous kids all across the country. As down goes number 12, Lefebvre, as he get the puck, as he laid there for a while, but he got back up and he gets hammered again, as number 20 from Ontario, sort of Jones McDonald, so tough start for Lefebvre, I think. Here comes Morn again. Quick shot, and he walked right in. He walked right in. And he beat Malcolm Rose 45 seconds. 45 seconds into this period. As that's his second goal of the tourney. And a nice one, a good effort. He got ahead of steam up, and it looks like Ontario backed up and gave that line away. And he took it and got a quick shot off and caught Malcolm Rose deep in his crease, and we got a 2-1 lead for BC as Siemens kicks that puck up, as number 7, Jacob flipped that puck in, and Siemens over to Thibault. Thibault looking up the middle for Jackson. Nobody home, as Blance comes in and steps into Nash Jacob, as Ford plays it, and that's fanned on by Thibault, and given away is big number 3, Cade Minnetabin, got a shot off, and there goes Nash Jacob throwing his body as he stepped into Blance. Kiwanukwat dumps it in, and Thibault to play it to Siemens, who outlets it as Alphonse was standing still as he couldn't get the puck, and looking like BC's on a change here in their own zone as they give it away. 2-on-1. A good stick by Thibault to break that up. As number 15, Paquette rings it around, and Thibault's been out there a while. Him and Seaman, as Thibault's high on that wall, as flips it out to the line, and unfortunately Landon Paquette couldn't keep it in, and BC flips it up. Here's Makokis just out of his reach. Him and Halliday is number 13, Landon Lake Rago, offside. We got 17:27 gone in this second period, as Rago comes from Lac Seul First Nation and played for the Sudbury U16 teams. If he's under 16, he's a big kid. But here's Sturgeon behind the net, rims it around as Mokoka slashes his check. Give and go as Luca Prince just missed that, as He chips it in, and Ontario chips it out, and here comes Makokas. He's got a step. Quick shot, high and wide, as number 23, Jackson Irvine, picks it up and ripped in the BC zone by number 19, Jordan McLeod. Here comes Makokas the other way as Halliday, he's looking to pass. Makokas gets a 1-tee off. That's turned aside by goaltender Malcolm Rose for Ontario. BC's got a 4-man back check as they rip it up off the wall, and that goes back into the BC zone as Cross throws his weight around as he's been pretty actively involved in this game. Loose puck as Cassius Ford couldn't cover it up. Here's number 23, Jackson Irvine, with the shot. Oh, getting rough as Levi Moore takes out number 9, Danny McDonald, as Danny McDonald was scrambling around the net there and made a save, a nice save by Ford, and the rebound was loose, but nobody was there other than Danny McDonald, and Cassius Ford stuck his arm out and made a nice save. 15:57 left in this period. Quick shot off the face-off. As Kachenko, he seems to be a face-off machine. As he won another draw, he got that back to, looks like number 10, Pickerel Gill. As Kachenko gets it out, as nonchalant by Thibault, as that goes back to the point, a quick shot. And that's covered up as number 8, Royce Abraham, with a long shot that's stopped by Ford. And Abraham, he got a lot on that. And he comes from Long Lake 58, First Nation in Ontario, as Siemens rips it around. And Swingin' Jones, you gotta love that name. One of the best names here as he tries to get it out. As here comes Swingin' Jones the other way as he's all by himself. He shoots one as Malcolm Rose gets his blocker on it. As Cross gets it back to Thibault. Thibault brings it to the center. That just goes wide as Siemens stretches out. He's caught 2-on-1 here. Here comes, looks like number 16, Dockstetter. That's Pickerel Gill who went wide. And Bodot's ragging the puck as he chips it in, and Swingin' Jones is coming off, and here comes number 8, Ethan Rope from Adams Lake, as that's dangerously in front. Rope brings it up to number 23, Osmak, who gets it back to Pope, or Rope, Pope. Saved by Malcolm Rose. I'm Shane Gottfriedson, your play-by-play, as we've got a pretty good crowd here, and we got last day here of the round robin play, as everybody's played everybody here, as Manitoba is up next. They got a good solid squad. A quick shot and a wraparound attempt as Ontario picks it up, as here's Pitawataquat. Oh, his big number 13, Lagan Rago, was wide open, as number 6 for BC, White Cotton, gets it out and to the line and kept in. Some fancy footwork, and that sneaks out the line as Lefebvre was forechecking hard, as Manitoban couldn't hold a puck in, and he has it again. Here comes Ontario. They're looking for a transition, and a nice chip pass as Livingstone is taken off the puck by Dockstetter. Livingstone's probably hasn't had his best game, but here he's out there again as big Louis Sturgeon gets taken out by Livingstone as number 12 for BC is back in front of the net, and Ontario rips it. Oh, we got a loose puck. Ford's loose, scrambling around is number 15 for Ontario. Landon Paquette was making things happen. Drop pass. Morin takes the shot. Gives it off to Blanche. Blanche is looking for somebody. Passes it off to Jackson. Jackson has the puck. Walks it out of the corner. Lets one go. And that's loose. And that's shot down the ice by number 7. Nash Jacob as Livingstone loses it again at the line as Jackson comes back to support and Livingstone dumps it in. Livingstone played his hockey this year out of Notre Dame, and Livingstone, he hails all the way from the Métis Nation, but he played for the Notre Dame Hounds. At number 18 for Ontario is coming out, and that's Xander Kachetko, who's one of my favorites, comes from the Oneida of the Thames. So we want to give a big shout out to all of the family back home and the cousins and the relatives of Oneida. And here comes Kachetko, rims it around, and on the other side is Emerson Taylor. He's rubbed off by Siemens, and Makokis comes back to support as here comes Thibault the other way as he flips it out as big number 8, Abraham, boxes out as him and Prince are exchanging pleasantries. And these two have been in each other's face the whole game as Luca Prince, he's been having a pretty good game. He's out of Peguis First Nation, and a big shout out to the Prince family. When I think about British Columbia hockey, you know, all the tournaments in BC, Chase had one this year. Williams Lake has been on a hiatus for a couple years, but Vernon has a big tournament. Merritt Moccasin is one of the bigger ones here in British Columbia. And think about all the teams that, you know, legendary teams like the Kamloops Hawks, also known as the Leland Braves, the Ashcroft Cowboys, the Colchana Braves, and of course the Osoyoos Hockey Club, where my good buddy Chief Clarence Louis from, one of my good pals, and we got the Vernon Totems, and we got the Williams Lake Sugarcane Hurricane, and the Chilcotin Grizzlies. And here comes Ontario the other way as that's dumped in. No icing as puck's loose. Cassius Ford comes up with that. A broken play which creates a chance is Ontario has big number 13, Lake Rigo out there. His deep partner is Cade Manitoban as number 19, McLeod loses a draw. And Heggie and White Cotton get the rare shift here as that's blocked by Swingin' Jones. Coming the other way for Ontario, that's just chipped out. Good defensive play as Heggie gets some lumber on his check as that's outside the line as Cross just missed his check, and Ontario's back setting the play up as they chip it in, and Heggie gets it back to the blue line as here's Ontario with a hard high backhand by Jordan McLeod, goes over top, as Cross is out there as he overskates the puck. And Ontario feeling a little frustrated here after being in the driver's seat the first period, talking to one of the Ontario coaches earlier. They were saying the offense has dried up this week in Kamloops and seemed to be stymieing the defending champs. But let's not kid ourselves, this is a good hockey club and a lot of kids representing their communities, their families, and the nations of Ontario. Just like British Columbia, they've got a lot of kids from all over the province here, you know, working hard. And when they put that jersey on, whether you're from Ontario, British Columbia, or Manitoba, you know, you're playing for your families and you're playing for the pride and the love of hockey. And these two teams are going at it. And we've got a great hockey game as that puck bounces out front, as that puck goes wide, as White Cotton, his family all the way from Hazelton here, they just walked by me. They're super proud of their young son and everybody from the Gitsan. Here's number 20 looking to jam that puck home. Devin Jones McDonald. He got an opportunity at the side of the net. Devin Jones McDonald, he hails all the way from Garden River. I believe that's where the Nolans are from. He played his big kid at 6'1", played for the Sioux Thunderbirds junior hockey. Quick shot that bounces off Pittawattaquat over to Jacobs as these guys are looking to push. And here's BC. Looked like BC got away with a slosher and Pittawattaquat. And Blanche and Thibault throws it out. And here's Blanche again. Throws it at the net. That's turned aside by Rose as Thibault pinches down low and he's got to get back as his defensive partner Siemens dumps it down and looking for Alphonse. An errant pass as long shot down the net, icing on BC. If you're listening in from wherever you're listening in Ontario or British Columbia, welcome to the National Aboriginal Hockey Championships as Jackson loses a draw to Paquette as here's Thibault as he bumps and jumps up into play as Paquette takes a swing at a loose puck, and him and Jackson are positioning as Paquette, number 11, Taylor joins in, looking for a loose puck. He gets it. He gets the shot off. Gets it again. That's knocked off by a high stick by Blantz. As BC forgot to cover the front of the net as they had both D-men down in the corner with Jackson and Emerson Taylor, his dad, Gordy's here. Had the pleasure of talking with Gordy, a nice man from Curve Lake, Ontario. Hello to everybody in Curve Lake. Hopefully one day you guys will get to visit this beautiful province in this city of Kamloops. I know Gordy loves it here. Quick shot high and wide by Prince. That goes all the way down the ice. And looks like Paquette blew a wheel as there goes Hagee as he throws it. Nobody home as Ontario dumps. Tags up and in on the check is Taylor again. As BC gets it out as Halliday gets it to the line, and I know Makokis again is getting into some extracurricular activity. And I know this young guy's full of a lot of spunk, but sometimes that gets him in trouble. BC's up. They need some discipline as Makokis wins the draw. As 2-1 hockey game. BC looks like they got one guy forechecking and 2-2 hockey. 1-2-2 hockey. As here's Makokis back deep, flips it up. As here's Prince from Pegwis, rips it around, and Livingstone has the puck, and Makokis gives it back up to the middle, and Big Sturgeon has the puck. And as Ontario's looking at a breakout, as here's Prince again. Quick shot, that's off the blocker of Malcolm Rose. And I was just talking about disciplined play. And Makokis is going back to the penalty box as he's ref's giving him a signal of a misconduct. Because I don't know if the linesman can do that, but he seems to be chirping him on. As one thing I know about hockey is, you know, these referees sometimes have very thick skin, and some of them have very thin skin. But nonetheless, Makokis takes the penalty, and he's chased from this game. And I know Mama Trina over there, she's not too happy with that call, as Ethan gets tossed from this game after scoring a nice goal to get BC on the board, as Morans put him ahead, going to serve this penalty as Big Cross. As score sheet's coming over here. I don't know what's happening, but having a conversation with Team Ontario. We got a young group of students. Where are you guys from? Valley View Secondary, home of the Vikings. Right on. Thanks for coming, guys, and have a great day, and hope you like what you're seeing here today. I'm a former Valley View Viking myself, and I went to school at Ralph Bell as well up the street, as Kamloops has a rich tradition of some high schools here. They've got a hockey academy in Valley View, they've got a hockey academy in Brock, and they've got a face-off with 6:53 and a 2-minute power play for Ontario, as number 14, Makokis, goes to the box. As Sturgeon gets that back to Kachetko. He rips one on net, and a nice save by Ford. And number 8, Ethan Rope, dumps it down. And big number 27, Kane Stiers, up to Kachenko as he dumps it in. And around the far side is number 21, Louis Sturgeon, who couldn't win the puck battle. And here's Ontario. Oh, and a great save by Cassius Ford. And that's dumped out by Swingin' Jones, as he got some lumber. As he gets some more lumber on Ontario's player, as he gets away with one. Swingin' Jones got a lot of lumber on McDonald. Livingstone rips it back down, as Swingin' Jones swinging his stick around as he knocks number 8 from Ontario, Abraham, stick out. And there's number 7, Nash Jacobs. He's had a pretty solid game as this Dockstetter on the wall over to Kitawataquat, over to Abraham, as Pitawataquat is wide open, as he couldn't get a handle on it. As Ontario's looking for a side pass, he's there. As there's Dockstetter looking for Abraham, as number 10, Pickers Gill, gives it away as BC gets it to the line. That was close, as Pickers Gill, as Livingstone gets a stick on it, and so does Halliday, as the box is broken, as they get it out finally, and that's it for that power play, as Cross comes out and he gets hit hard as number 7, Nash Jacobs, hit number 7, Cross. One thing I can say about this Cross young man, he is one tough kid. He's been paying the price for Team BC the whole game to get that puck out. Stands at 6'1", plays the Indigenous Sports Academy, part of the Métis Nation. Face off outside the line as Teo Jackson gets a shift out here. Good to see him out there as he wins a key draw. Him and Blanche, and looks like Alphonse are out there. As 4:30 left, BC needs to hang on here as Ontario is going to not give up. These guys are the national champs, as that's back to White Cotton, who gets a good shot off. And Ontario flicks it. We got a race. Here's number 11, Taylor, as White Cotton loses a stick, as he picks it up again by the side of the net as Taylor comes crashing in. And the ref puts up his hand, signals, okay boys, let's get a change here. And Ontario puts out some freshies here, and they're coming back with Kachenko, McDonald, and Jones McDonald. This is a good line for Ontario as they bring a lot of energy and a lot of chances. This Jones McDonald's a big kid to handle. That's ripped around. Here's Blantz as he carries the puck in. Just barely kept onside. That's a nice move. Oh! As Alphonse thought he had one. Hails from the Chilcotin territory up in northern BC by the Williams Lake area. A nice pass by Blantz, and Malcolm Rose did a complete split to keep that puck out as the Kachenko line got caught there, and they're going to come back out with the Pittawanaquat, Dockstetter, Jacob line as Jackson and Alphonse and Blantz line almost put BC up 3-1, but we got a 2-1 game. Oh, as number 8 gets destroyed, which is Rope, in front by Big Louis Sturgeon, as BC's looking for a loose puck, and that's a good stick by Siemens. Long stretch passes. Here's Pittawanaquat, as that's lost as a move by number 12. Lefebvre gets it out. Rope, the Pope gets a shot. He's buried by number 21, Louis Sturgeon, as Sturgeon got the better of Rope there. And we've got 3:16 left, and Ethan Rope from the Métis Nation, 6 feet. He played his hockey for the North Vancouver Chiefs. The Chiefs, where's all our Chiefs today? I've seen a few Chiefs over the weekend. Lots of counselors from KIB here. And BC wins another draw. Here's Morin. He gets it off, and Cross gets it as he's dangling around, as he's had a pretty decent game. Trying to do it himself here, walks around, looks over for Morin. BC killing some time, as Morin probably zigged when he should have passed. As he gets that pass, drop past the Livingstone with the button turn. There we go, BC dumps it in, killing time. Big Styles behind the net. That's off to his D partner, and Big Sturgeon grabs it as he's checked along the boards. As here comes number 19, dumps it in, and that's for Ontario's on the forecheck. Is it out? Kept inside, the linesman says. That goes off. Here's number 21, Prince, racing number 8, Abraham, who runs over Prince Abraham comes up with the puck. Nice solid pass to Pickersgill. He tries an inside out, and Hagee's not having it. And these two are going at it. And the ref is blowing it down. As off comes the helmets. Pickersgill's gloves comes off. As him and Pickersgill's and Hagee, a pair of 10s, throwing the mitts down. As Pickersgill's helmet comes off, and Hagee didn't like the business, and he got a tough kid. This Hagee, as he wanted to test out Pickersgill as Hagee looks like he's from the Yellowknife area, as he evened up here, I'd presume, as they're talking about it. 1:59 left in this period of a good hockey game, as Paquette grabs the glove from Teo Jackson, and I don't know what's the call here. As the ref comes over, he's talking to coach from Ontario. That will be Brandon Biggers from Welcome Wampum on the unceded territory. As I seen Chief Dean Sayers here yesterday. What a good man and a great chief. I had the pleasure to serve time at the Chiefs table with Dean Sayers. Good, well-spoken friend of mine. And our regional chief from BC here is Terry TG. Shout out to where Terry TG's from, up in Takla territory, which is up in Fort St. James area. We got number 15, Bodot, against the face-off machine, Xander Tkachetko. As we're all evened up here, 5 aside, 2 minutes to go. I think that's a great call by the ref to give everybody a evened up call, as that's chipped in by Pittawanaquat. Behind the net goes crashing as Livingstone, as Levi Morn flips that up to Halliday, and slow rolling, curling puck that no icing, as here's the big guy, Lake Rago, as here comes Ontario. They're looking for some attention as Pittawanaquat on the forecheck, and dumped in by Logan Bodut, and number 20 Holidays on the forecheck, as Ontario, that goes off the leg of Pittawanaquat and back down in BC's end. And here's Livingstone out there as he's rushing it up, chips it in, and oh, he slipped, and he was wiped out by number 11 Emerson Taylor, or no, pardon me, Landon Paquette. As Alphonse gets it in by Prince. What a nice pass by Alphonse, as he wipes out number 3, Manitoban, and that's a dangerous looking pass. It's almost a long stretch pass as Pittawanaquat misses it, and Luca Prince gives it up. Pittawanaquat walks in, saved by Cassius Ford. Pittawanaquat looking dangerous. Sturgeon, as there's no room out front. Another shot. Ford with the save. Banged in by Pittawanaquat from Ontario. As 13.7 seconds left as Ontario ties this game up, as they have a record of 3 wins and 1 tie, where British Columbia has 3 losses and 1 tie. And I think the hearts of BC just fell, as Ontario ties this game up with 13.7 seconds left, as Teo Jackson and Alphonse comes in as the clock runs down, as some pushing and shoving, as 1.5 seconds left as Alphonse run over his guy, and Jackson's stick gets thrown as looks like going to be evened up as Kane Stiers is also going to the box as Blanche is exchanging pleasantries. As I can say, this has been a entertaining hockey game with the guests getting the abundance of shots. Of Ontario had 40 shots on Cassius Ford, who's played probably his best game. And we've got a 5-on-5 game face-off here in Ontario's zone with 1.57 seconds left. As number 13, Landon Lake Rago, is trying to tell everybody that face-off's outside, and the refs are having a chat about it, and they're asking about what you're doing after the game as Jackson and Sturgeons go at it. And number 3, Manitoban, and boys are getting feisty here. As in comes Thibault and Ontario as Luca Prince from Peguis and big number 13, Landon Lake Rago, seem to have some extra action going. Shots on goal for Ontario, 40. Shots on goal for British Columbia, 30. 2-2 draw. And I can say probably the first star for BC would definitely have to be Cassius Ford. And I would like to say the team player for Ontario has got to be either Big Louis Sturgeon or number 17, Ashton Pitawanakwat. And you never know with Xander Kachetko, as that's a wrap here. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is the only game I'm doing today, as we're coming to you live from Kamloops, British Columbia, home of the Kamloops Blazers, traditional territory of the Kamloops to Sequeppin, as British Columbia gives up a late goal with 13.7 seconds in this hockey game, as Cassius Ford did his best to make a number of saves, but of course the puck was loose, and as Ontario had a lot of traffic in front, and they banged in the tying goal, as almost like Winnipeg did the other night to beat St. Louis to move on, but Dallas has taken a 1-0 series lead in that series. And of course, the Toronto Maple Leafs, home of this Ontario Hockey Club, where some of these kids live in the Ontario region, as the Leafs are up 2-0 over the champs. And just as I suspected, Cassius Ford with 40 saves to get the player of the game for BC. As here's the captain, another one I called, Ashton Pitawanakwat, with the game star for Ontario. I'm Shane Gottfredson, coming to you live from Kamloops, British Columbia. Mike Perololini is the camera guy, and want to give a big shout out to all the fans online listening to us back home wherever you are. And we've got some top-notch Indigenous hockey. 23 years this tournament's been going on, and the hockey seems to be getting better and better. And you look at our kids that are playing in the NHL, the Brendan Montours, the Carey Prices, the Theo Fleuries, the Gino Odjiks, the Ted Nolans, the Jordan Nolan, Brandon Nolan, lots of star-studded kids that made the jump to the NHL. And we'll see who's going to be our next NHL star of the future. But today our players of the game were number 17, Ashton Pittawanakwat, and goaltender Cassius Ford from BC. Have a good day, everybody. That's it for me for the day, as I've got a sore throat and I've got to save my voice for Championship Saturday, and hopefully I'll come back tomorrow and maybe do one more game. But that's it for me for today. I hope you like what you heard today, and if you have, give us a shout online. Let us know where you're from and who you're cheering for, and hopefully we'll see you at some time. And as our Indigenous people, we never say goodbye, we always say we'll see you again.